Well, high school athletes all over the state of Indiana gearing up for a fall sports season that will look far different than it did 1 year ago. The pandemic forcing the cancellation of spring sports in 2020, altered practices for fall athletes, and a limited number of fans allowed to watch the games. Things have changed this year, and IHSAA Commissioner Paul Neidig joins me now with details on what to expect. And Paul, welcome to the program.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah. It's my pleasure to join you here today.
Yeah, well, and looking back, I want to talk about the year ahead, but as you look back a year ago, a lot of question marks about whether high school sports would be able to be conducted. But amazingly, as you look at it, it did happen. As you look at that experience, all the state tournaments took place. What's your big takeaway from how that was able to happen last year here in Indiana?
For me, it was it once again put a spotlight on the importance of team. It was not one individual that allowed last fall to happen and us to turn the light back on, so to speak, and allow kids an opportunity to participate. It was the state working together, and from Governor Holcomb's office to the Department of Education and Dr. Box's team and the Indiana High School Athletic Association, and then you think about what had to happen at a district level, with the number of counties that we have, the number of different schools. This year we have 407 schools, and every school is different. And what works within one community may not work in another. And so we allowed a lot of leeway for schools to make adjustments to what fit their community. And again, it was just the ability for the team to work together, and then just so grateful to have an opportunity for kids to be able to play again.
As you look now heading into the fall sports season, ready to kick off literally here in a matter of days, I think the expectation, things back to normal, but yet with the Delta variant and what we're seeing going on around the country, how are you looking at this fall sports season? Yeah,
and we adopted a philosophy a year ago that we're going to take 2-week segments, and we're not going to try to long-range plan because COVID didn't permit us to do so. When we still find ourselves in that scenario, but we're hoping for a return to normal, or as normal as it can be this fall. We certainly know that we have to watch what's going on and the positivity rate in the state of Indiana, and know that we may have to adjust. But we're planning for a full season. We're planning for a season that looks as normal as it possibly can, but we'll make appropriate decisions along the way that need to be made to keep people safe.
Talk about, in your view, the importance of high school athletics to communities. There's a financial piece to it, but just in terms of that community piece and the connecting of people in schools and communities around the state.
Yeah, when we learned in 2020 when we had to shut things down, human beings are, as we all are, unique, but they like to be with each other. And the ability to go out to a Friday night game and talk to your neighbor that you haven't seen, or maybe your high school teammate, and reconnect, and at the same time you're supporting the kids that have their turn to put the jersey on. And I think just to have people and communities to be able to gather. Friday night football games or multiple fall events, whether it be soccer or volleyball or golf or tennis. It just gives people an opportunity to be together, and that's what human beings crave. We certainly know that.
Yeah. So basically, for student athletes, for their families and fans, as you look at this fall season, it's back to normal, but again, taking it on a week-by-week basis.
Absolutely. We're going to take our time. We're going to make sure we make just-in-time and appropriate decisions to keep people safe. But we also need people to continue to stay vigilant about being safe and following the proper protocol, so these kids this year can have their turn at putting that uniform on.
A lot of people around the state very excited to get high school sports back on the docket. Paul Neidig, the IHSAA Commissioner, thanks very much for joining us. We'll talk to you soon.